Daniel 11:9b. Uva vo veshataf ve'avar ve'yashov ve'yitgare ad ma'uzo. So now with the B part, we started here on the second line, but I wanted to leave the first line here as well because we're going to see some comparisons. What we see at the beginning here is the vav on the perfect third masculine singular of the verbal root bo. With that vav, we're going to see something of the imperfective aspect here on this perfect, so on this katal form. So we would see something like, and he will come, or he will enter. Then we get the infinitive absolute here of the root bo. And you can see these two put together is probably more understood as durative. And he will come, coming. Maybe something like, and he will continue to come. He will continue to enter. I think there's other options for how to see that infinitive absolute, but it is functioning a little bit differently than the way we understand infinitive absolutes for intensity, something like that. I think durative is the understanding here. Next, we get the vav consecutive on the perfect third masculine singular of shataf, and he will pour over or gush over, and call perfect third masculine singular of avar, and he will pass through. Now, the next line is where we start to see some more interesting things. We see the vav here, but now this is not a call perfect. This is a call imperfect of the verbal root shuv. Now, Andrew Steinman mentions this form, and he comments that throughout the rest of chapter 11, you see this form, the conjunctive vav on the imperfect to refer to future tense. And he's going to point out 11:15, 11:17, 18, 11:19, 11:25, 11:28, 11:30. Those are, I'm looking at his book here. All of those are references where we start to see this vav conjunctive with the imperfect. And he points to Juan Morioka, section 119ZB, as referring to this construction as possibly the evidence of moving away from a classical Hebrew vav consecutive on the perfect to a more late biblical Hebrew vav conjunctive with the imperfect for that future tense. So interesting form there. But what we get is, and he will return, and he will stir up or wage war. Here's that imperfect, hitpael imperfect. This is I'm going to go with third masculine singular based on the kare. So the kare would have a hey here. Verbal root is gara, like we saw right up here. And he will wage war unto his fortress. Now, you might notice his, in this case, is a more archaic form versus just the holem vav that we are used to seeing as that third masculine singular suffix, but it is the same thing, until his fortress.